Hi, this is Kathy Ewing, and this is my Virtual Learning Academy Level 3, Part 3 assessment over assessments. And one of the things that you asked for is you asked for evidence on the tools that we use to assess our students. So one of the things that I use are rubrics, and we do keep those rubrics accessible to the students inside the project. So here's my project, and then if they click here and then click there, the rubric will pop up. So for this assignment, honestly, it was a lot easier to grade because this was, can they turn in assignments correctly? And then if they couldn't turn in the assignment correctly, then that would affect their grade, but they were given an opportunity to turn something back in. There were some writing portions where they had to write, like, do either a Google Doc or a Google Slide. They had journal entries and discussion boards. And so I kept my knowledge and thinking basically just on whether or not they could communicate clearly and correctly. And then we also had an agency rubric, which was, do they complete their assignments on time? Did they actively participate? And did they build relationships? I was only able to use the last two components of this rubric if students were actually in the building, right? So my students who were working on more of a blended model and working from home, I was only able to grade them on whether or not they completed their assignment on time and whether or not it was completed, it was like finished and polished and looking good or whatever. But here's my rubric, and that's kind of how I grade them. You also asked how we gave feedback to our students, and also like methods of remediation that we use with our students. So I kind of feel like the feedback for this project is very, very similar to like the remediation opportunities in this project. So I'm going to pull up my seniors here because I can remember specifically, like, Bergen forgot to share something with me. So right here, down on Echo Tips and Tricks, you can kind of see where I have like feedback to students. So right here, he shared a poem with me and told him he did a great job. But I think it was right here. Yes. I love your goal. I think you'd make an amazing adolescent psychiatrist. Let's work on comma placement this year, because he submitted his assignment here. There was something, though, that he forgot to share with me, or I thought it was him. Maybe it was a different student. But they forgot to share, and so they originally earned a 0 until they fixed that. And it might have been in this group. But for this project, that's how remediation worked. The whole point was, like, can you turn in assignments correctly? And if you can't, then we need to discuss how to make that happen. Maybe it was this one. No, we need to work on capitalization and sentence structure. I don't know if you need to see the student's assignment. Bless his heart, he was very literal. Like when I said it should be titled Your Initials and Personal Growth Plan, I meant actually his, like BC, Brian Chino's. This is what I was talking about, like punctuation and such. So yeah, that's his assignment. I'm going to pause and try to find a student that I had to give a 0 to and let them redo an assignment. Okay, it took me a while to find one, but I did find one. So this is Bergen. He had turned in an assignment, but he didn't share it with me correctly. And so he got a 0 on this, but he was allowed to do a retry. And I just can't, it won't pull up the original note that I left him, which was like, Bergen, share this with me. So he did actually turn this in time, which is why he was able to get 100% in agency. He just forgot to share it with me. And so I let him like kind of redo that, and we walked through that. Another kind of way that we were doing remediation, or letting kids kind of like work at their own pace on this project, was specifically like the Flipgrid assignment. So on Flipgrid, and I need to get out of the grade book, sorry. When you look at their Echo tips and tricks, on the Flipgrid assignment, there was actually a Flipgrid demonstration video. And so if a student had a trouble or struggles with that, or they didn't do it correctly, I made them come back here and watch the Flipgrid video demonstration that just has me going over all of the steps on how to do that correctly. So that was one way that we kind of had remediation for this project. This was different than another project that I might do in English, where remediation would be over capitalization rules or over citation. The purpose of this project really was to make sure that they were comfortable using Echo, especially in the event that we have to go back home and work from home. I wanted to make sure that they knew how to navigate everything, which is why we had something on submitting assignments. We had something on the agendas, how to navigate a project, and then how to use our grade book. So yeah, like remediation for this assignment really was, if they just didn't do well, it was me sitting down and explaining to them step by step how to do everything correctly. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or any concerns, please let me know. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.